happen.
Hello and welcome to What the Truck Happened, the place where you get your trucking news, data, and information. My name is Joko and I'll do the research for you so you don't have to, but just in case you want to do some reading, I'll place the links to the articles down below. For our first story today, self-driving trucks. It's no secret that technology is actually advancing faster than we think. Self-driving cars are already on the roads, even fully autonomous self-driving cars, even though they're still in a testing phase, we do know that they exist. So self-driving trucks shouldn't be much of a surprise either. But this raises a whole other set of questions. In the real world, where humans are in charge of completing tasks and doing the work, lawmakers have somebody to blame. So if something goes bad or wrong, or if there is an accident, they have somebody to blame. But if you remove the human factor from, tasks and work, do you also remove the problem maker? I don't necessarily think so, but let's talk about that. This is the very beginning of this era of autonomous driving and self-driving trucks. We still don't have the infrastructure for fully autonomous trucks, and we all know that. We can all agree on that because you still need somebody, to complete simple tasks such as, fueling up the truck or even putting air in the tires. But overall, it is a direction where lawmakers and where the future is taking us. So it's interesting to see how the administration and agencies such as the FMCSA are handling these types of situations. To more effectively oversee level 4 or 5 automated driving system equipped CMV operations, FMCSA is considering establishing a requirement for motor carriers to notify FMCSA that they will operate those CMVs in interstate commerce without a human driver behind the wheel. If you are a trucking company that wants to, experiment with self-driving trucks, you need to let the FMCSA know that these trucks will be on the roads and that there will be no driver behind the steering wheel. This gives the FMCSA the opportunity to address any unique in-service safety issues involved in the operations of such vehicles and, if necessary, to target safety interventions to correct those issues. In other words, if somebody screws up, they have somebody to blame. How does the FMCSA think this would actually work? You see, like I said, we do not have the current infrastructure, road infrastructure, or even like recharging, refueling infrastructure for these systems to work. So how would it work? You will still need the human factor. Well, the FMCSA has accounted for that as well, and they call individuals that will actually assist those self-driving trucks remote assistance. FMCSA defines remote assistance as a human who provides remote information or advice to an ADS-equipped vehicle in driverless operation in order to facilitate trip continuation when the ADS encounters a situation it cannot manage, which simply means that you will still have humans in charge of those ADS machines so that if something goes bad, humans can intervene and correct for those mistakes. But this brings other questions as well regarding those remote assistants. You see, as CDL holders, we need to adhere to certain rules and regulations. We need to have a valid commercial driver's license. We need to have physical qualifications, for medical exams. We need to have drug testings. We need to adhere to local, regional, and national laws and regulations. So if the remote assistants will be in charge of those automated driving systems, trucks, shouldn't they also adhere to some of the things that we as truck drivers have to adhere to? Should hours of service, drug testing, physical qualifications also apply to remote assistants? Should remote assistants be required to hold a CDL? Should level 4 or 5 automated trucks be subject to pre-trip inspections, for their mechanical parts and their automated driving system parts? Not only pre-trip inspections, but also post-trip inspections. So who will perform those? How would law enforcement agencies and motor carriers ensure that those CMVs are not used for illegal activities, drug trafficking, human trafficking, you name it? Speaking of law enforcement, if the autonomous truck gets pulled over by an officer, who will perform the brake checks, the light checks, how will the officer perform a proper vehicle inspection by himself without a driver? And many more questions that the FMCSA asks in their proposal. If you're interested in giving your 2 cents on how the FMCSA should handle this, they will be open to comments until March 20th, so I will leave a link down in the description below if you want to check that out. In other news more relevant to truckers and trucking company owners, is Zeta, the American Trucking Association, and the American Truck Dealers have sent a letter to Congress to repeal the federal excise tax. FET applies to vehicles with gross weight of 33,000 pounds, with trailers of 26,000 pounds, or tractors with a gross weight of 19,500 pounds, or a gross combined weight of 33,000 pounds. The tax is applied on the first sale of the heavy-duty truck, truck trailer, or semi-trailer chassis and body for which the motor carrier purchaser is responsible, which will ultimately increase the cost of goods for consumers. This is actually a tax that was established back in 1917 to defray the costs of World War I. In today's economy, this tax actually adds 12% to the purchase of new vehicle equipment, which is quite a lot. Why do we still have this tax? Why isn't it abolished? Why isn't it repealed? Removing this tax will actually deduct quite a huge chunk of money from, the purchase of new trucks and trailers. As of right now, the trucks market and the trailer market is still high, but it's actually declining. With markets still in a bad shape, truck prices and truck trailers are starting to come down as well. And not only that, by removing this FET tax, smaller trucking business owners and owner-operators will be able to upgrade their trucks and buy the newest equipment possible so that we can have safer equipment on the roads. If Congress is serious about safety, the environment, and jobs, then repealing the FET should be front burner, said American Trucking Organization President and CEO Chris Spear. It is time to shelve this World War I era tax and start putting the best equipment on our roads. This was it for today's News Digest. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one.
What the truck happened?